I gave Activision my 5 monies and I got Mengsk, because I enjoyed playing him until level 5, and it only got better from there. For some reason I do enjoy playing as a dictator. And the voice lines that they recorded for each of the characters are also pretty good. Well, at least those that were made specifically for Mengsk. Some units like the Aegis Guard do not have custom lines, but the basic workers do. So if you're not familiar with this commander or with StarCraft 2 whatsoever, co-op takes place at a place and time when everyone is alive. So you can find both Raynor and Mengsk and Kerrigan as the Swarm Commander existing, and also others. At any rate, Mengsk is special in the sense that he can freely swap his workforce between Marines and workers. Another thing is that his bunkers are his supply depots, so you want to use them offensively. And he is one of those which have... Actually, no, everyone does, okay. He has a resource to manage. Some use mana or energy or whatever you want to call it. He uses Imperial Mandate. Imperial Mandate is gained and lost. Well, only gained actually. Imperial Mandate is gained over time, or when you start indoctrinating your troops, or get your Royal Guard. The Royal Guard contributes more points the higher the rank it is, which, you know, makes sense, because the more you promote them, the more loyal they are, because the more they're getting for doing what they are supposed to do. Another thing about Mengsk is that he can assign multiple workers to a construction to speed up the construction of that thing.
Our allies are being attacked.
And also that he has 2 types of units. The regular ones, the Marines, which can be switched to from infantry. And they can be upgraded with various guns, making them either more tanky or very good anti-air, or just overall more damage. Focused infantry, and between Royal Guard. The Royal Guard is basically very expensive type of unit, which usually costs a crap ton of Vespene to balance out the fact that the minion troopers cost no Vespene whatsoever, including their upgrades. And they level up. And as they level up, they gain stats, passive and active abilities, and, as already said, increase your Imperial Mandate gain. On the left side you have the gain from indoctrinated workers and troopers, because they will not give you any mandate. And on the right side you have gain from special units, the Guard, as I said. Now, what else do I want? A double engineering bay, then an armory. Wonderful. And because I have no use for these yet, let's switch them to workers and have them assist the construction. He's very flexible, and I like that. Because you can also just switch your... If you have one too many workers at some point, you can just turn them into military, and it's wonderful.
Our allies are being attacked. Our allies' base is under attack.
Base. I'll help him. So the powers at the top of the screen include calling down a bunker filled with units. Then, once you build artillery, which I haven't yet, you can call down strikes of irradiated ammunition onto an area.
Our allies are being attacked.
Then summon enslaved Zerg. And finally, call down 40 missiles and a nuke. The missiles are tactical, which means that when they are targeted, fired, and then explode, they do damage in a smaller area than a nuke, and do less damage, but they are somewhat efficient, because they cover a wide area and there's so many of them. Now, I need to double this, and way more of these, and we need to move out.
Our allies' base is under attack.
Allies base. Oh no. Oh yeah, he's getting cards over there to get us time, while I'm just roaming around the map. But don't worry, we will help him soon. So, one thing that I very much like is that whenever I play someone else who has Marines, like Raynor or even Nova, although Nova has it way easier, I always hate encountering... I think we should wait with the last part. I always hate encountering cloaked units or burrowed units, because the anti-stealth measures of someone like Raynor are very poor. You either have a scanner, or when it comes to detecting on the go, or I forget what the other tool is, but there is one more, and it's also no fun.
Our allies are being attacked.
Anyway, Mengsk has the Imperial Witness, which is basically your tool for indoctrinating, so increasing the resource gain. So while you're not fighting, or even when a fighting starts, you just want to deploy the Witness, so it starts indoctrinating, because not only it gives you the resource, and you gain it quite fast, as you can see, but it also increases attack and movement speed of all nearby friendly units. Another reason why I like Mengsk is because it's, well, very easy to expand as him. There's no problem building an SCV? No. What is it called? Enlistment center anywhere. And so it goes for artillery and the like. So let's say I want to make... What? Oh, turret, of course. Let's say I want to make a base here. Done. Go there, you're gonna make that. See, and I can just keep on generating, and doing okay. The only problem is, I also need to get some tankier units, because troopers alone can carry, but it's usually very on the edge if you rely only on them. So here's my first unit of a kind, the Aegis Guard, the Royal Guard, not Loyal, Royal Guard. And the Royal Guard is very powerful. So on rank 1, did I select them as well? No. On rank 1, the Royal Guard does 20 damage, 40 against armored, has 1 armor itself. Okay, get out. And as it levels up, which you will see eventually, it gains the ability to splash its attacks, and it gains 5 damage per level and 1 armor per level. On level 3 it gains the ability to increase its attack speed down to 0.5 second, as in making an attack every 0.5 second. And when you combine that with the fact that it has splashing attacks and does 35 damage in an area, it's basically very powerful, and you can get more of them. Here, let's pick up some more. Get these two. I will eventually pick up the Pride of Augustgrad. Right. I do wish that the... Oh, did I leave it? Yes, I did. Oh, we did get the train. Alright, so we have then only one more that we have to get. Well, if we want more XP, that is.
Our allies are being attacked.
The thing about the troopers and the equipment you can assign them, you just select the trooper without any, and you can make him pick up, or well, pick up. You can upgrade him into either a higher damage trooper, or a flamethrower, which decreases his range severely, but gives him plus 100 health and a stronger attack, or just an anti-air unit. The anti-air is great because they do 40 damage versus armored from 10 range, which is almost as much range as Tempest or an... what's the other one? Basically the Siege Air. As for the others, the Assault Trooper, which is basically the overall damage one, is not bad. 14 damage is great, but the survivability is not there. And the Flamer, solid damage, a lot of health. And what I wanted to say was, when a trooper with equipment dies, any other trooper can pick it up. So it's an investment which does not disappear, so long as you have troopers who can keep picking the gear up as your other geared soldiers die. So it's always handy to have some extra stuff, some extra troopers nearby the pimped out ones. So I cannot control these Zerg, but they benefit from upgrades, and as such are very dangerous, especially when you call in 5 Ultralisks, which have 2 armor upgrades. It's like 5 armor. Suddenly, a Marine does only 3 damage, which means they survive a lot. If they go against a bunker, they take very little damage, so it's nice. Alright, stop the propaganda for a while. We just need to help him. I mean, I don't, but because some of my Zerg joined the attack, they will automatically seek out the nearby enemies, so you cannot control them, but they control themselves pretty well in most scenarios. Alright, so the Imperial Witness is great because it's a mobile stealth detector, and in the indoctrination mode it has double the range of both detection and indoctrination. So it's great in that aspect. As for the intercessors, which are medivacs but different, because they, through an upgrade, gain a shield. Alright, time to get to 100 fast. And bring down the train, because I do want some extra XP while I'm here. Come on. 96, 7, 8, 9, 10. Pick up an intercessor. Afterburners, which are, thankfully this time around, a innate thing, you don't have to research it, and nuke the train! Yes! Wonderful. Alright, I almost lost an Aegis Guard, but don't worry. I lost a whole lot of other troops. But don't worry, the Aegis Guard has an ability which makes it have plus 300 health every 60 seconds. And the shield is active until it gets destroyed. Right, there's parts. We didn't have to pick them up, but okay. Alright, we should be getting ready to attack here. Because, I don't know, I never actually let the Balius mech be destroyed by the hybrid. It doesn't say that it has to survive, but you know, I don't want to find out, not when I'm recording. Get out. I'll tell you what, earlier today I was playing as Mengsk as well, and I thought I had great commentary at that time. And that all went great, and it was an amazing mission, whatever. And then I found out that StarCraft actually controls your mic, and when you get into a match it adjusts the audio based on the settings. So it fucked up my microphone audio, it was too loud, and I just deleted the footage because the game would have no audio whatsoever, and it would still be too loud. I don't feel like this is up to par with what I did in the morning, but at least it's something. Alright, get to 100. Bali is going back. And sure, let's help him clear it out. It's not like the Zerg will get lost. They last for 60 seconds, which is a lot of time. Because it's not 60 in-game seconds, I feel like. Nope, never mind, it is. I thought for a second that it was real time and not game time, because StarCraft 2 runs at a faster rate. Alright, drop this bunker down just here, why not?
Your forces are under attack.
Alright, what else did I want? Oh. Give him some more upgrades. And now... Oh, I actually maxed out on the upgrades. Oh, I don't recall doing that, but if I've done that, then wonderful. Did I pick up a pride? No, I didn't.
Our ally
I'll get a Pride of August grad. Research... already did, okay. Damn, I've done things I don't even recall doing. Nice. He managed to get the other parts, and we have 10 minutes 50 seconds. I assume that when the Balius mech is destroyed, it goes back into repair and you have to get parts, or just go on without it, which is fine by me. A lot of the time, the hybrid shades will attack your units anyway. Alright, let's charge it. Let's actually build some artillery so I can show up some stuff. Get a ghost. Spooky. Get 2 bunkers. That should get me enough supply. Is the Pride here ready? No, it's not, but it will soon be. So once this artillery finishes building, and I can send infantry into these artillery installments to make them fire faster, I can order them to fire, as I said, irradiated ammunition. It's somewhat powerful. It's very powerful against smaller units. Not so powerful against larger units, but it's fine. It does its job, and it has no range restrictions, unlike the artillery itself, which actually does. See? There, after an upgrade. So let's help them a little. I cannot direct where does it fire, I can only direct the area, so it's gonna randomly bombard an area. I should... I should have used the Zerg there, but... I want to save the nuke for the experiment. Oh hey look, he sacrificed a ton of drones. And got him back right away. Where is his den? It's gotta be somewhere. I don't know, honestly. Oh no, I left my witness. Alright, so let's bring up the Pride of August grad, which gives any nearby friendly units +1 range to their attacks, and the ghost. Now the ghost is... I never use it, but the nukes you can get from the Royal Academy are free, and they're not nukes but tactical missiles, so once again they have a smaller area of effect, but they are free and they're good against buildings and defenses. You know, it's like, for demonstration purposes, it's this. It's like the targeting area of the artillery. Oh, and I didn't send any infantry in them, so it's gonna take a while to charge. Pride of August grad can fire the Yamato cannon thrice, and doesn't use energy, so that's great. Where's the witness? Over here, good. And fire away! There we go. Nuked the free. I mean, I nuked the copies, that was my intent. And we won! He plays very nicely, and you can either choose between playing as a troop commander or as a Royal Guard commander, because there are mastery choices between boosting the mandate gain from infantry and then from Royal Guard. You can also decrease the Royal Guard cost, which is what I picked, because otherwise the units are too expensive to get before some maps end, like this one. You can also increase the damage of Contaminated Strike, Nuclear Annihilation, etc, etc. And increase the XP gain of the Royal Guard, but that's usually not a problem as I can keep them alive. I only keep on losing the troopers, so to fix that I just get 6 extra workers and a supply depot at the start to start up my economy and, you know, have extra workers and a head start when it comes to expanding. It's nice. Plays nice, I like it. The special units are truly special, and it's fun being a dictator. Well, if I were playing with voice lines on, which I tried, but I mean, over the course of 3 matches I tried, but I couldn't focus on the commentary because I played without sounds until that point. I just had StarCraft on mute. The voice lines are great for those that they were recorded for. You know, like the troopers say, when they're trained, they will comment on how they are there well, they are being forced to be there But once you equip them with better gear and you surround them with Royal Guard, which actually gets some levels, they will start commenting on to how they're in this together and they need to win and that they're better than the others and that it's their dominion, whether it's right or wrong, and stuff like that. It's almost like they put realism into the design of Mengsk when they were making him, and that they also had some extra stuff to go off of, hence why I mentioned the book at the start. And he really feels, to me at least, better than the other commanders. Sure, the others are way more efficient. For example, Kerrigan is very efficient, SC2 Co-op is very efficient too, Phoenix, incredibly efficient. So it goes for Abathur and Han and Horner. They also have more damage or are more flexible or whatever. But for me, Mengsk is the ultimate mix of everything that one wants to have in a co-op mission. He does not have a single hero, but he does have those hero-like units which level up and get stronger the longer they are alive, playing like a hero. Because the longer you have a hero alive, the more stuff you can do with it, because you keep putting more units around it and more upgrades on top of those units. And so when, for example, as a Kerrigan, when you get a lot of units, the immobilization wave is suddenly much more powerful, because you have these units doing damage as well. And aside from the heroes, he also has an area clear, the nukes, he also has area control, the bunkers, the Zerg. It's just nice. You know, there's something to focus on in between fights. The mandate gain, the indoctrination. And he also has, as I said, the great infantry, which is weak, but they have a great personality. They'll also, when attacked, the Marines, as I call them, which use SMGs and are conscripted, will yell at you, "Hey, I'm not disposable." And a lot of the times I think to myself, yes you are. It's like, yeah, so what? So, it's great. Really like it. The artillery is useful on some maps, like the train map. I forget what it's called. Oblivion Express. Because there the enemies always come to you and they always are to the side of the train, so you can really, really bash them. And other than that, that's about it. The one thing is the Black Hammer really sucks. It's weak compared to everything else as a royal unit. But other than that, he's nice. I do wish that they made use of the propaganda and indoctrination somewhat more. I was wondering, like, whether if Activision came back and revisited StarCraft 2, if they reimagined some of the if they reimagined all of the campaigns, if that would have been, well, if that would be for the better or worse. I think for the better, because imagine section. Look at that one mission where you have to capture the broadcast towers in Wings of Liberty. Imagine if it was a larger map with more units on both sides and population which is torn between who to fight for, because there's propaganda coming in from both sides. What could be even more interesting would be if there were Zerg who would appear in the situation and you would have to basically defend the population from the Zerg, but they wouldn't always fight for you because you wouldn't always be in control of a sector's broadcasting station, you know, it's like... And there could be more of that throughout the whole campaign, because at least the way they made out Mengsk in StarCraft 2 is they turned him into a power-hungry maniac from the cunning commander he was in the book. But that's fine by me, it's just they didn't use his potential completely from my point of view. And from what I understand. But anyway, this is my video on Mengsk. And screw Heroes of the Storm, lol. The Ranked is dead and the skeleton crew running it is just trying to keep it alive, but I'm afraid it's not possible anymore.